So here we are, just arrived after a long journey from London. Shanghai first, then on to Beijing. We're doing a one-week tour, ending up at the Great Wall. So this is, organisation-wise, this has taken near to a year, and I've been coming to China for 5-6 years now, so it's been a very special time for me, and I've enjoyed touring through China. One side is the future, one side is the past. It's a really, really exciting city, Shanghai. For the next 4 or 5 years, I'd certainly recommend that you go there. Bars, restaurants, clubs, it's really a young place and it's happening. Really, to get to this kind of point and end up coming to Shanghai, which is one of my favourite places at the moment, and then end and doing a show at the Great Wall, be really exciting. So watch this film and follow our trip. I'm into hotels, basically. I mean, I do a lot of travelling, and one of my hobbies is design and hotels, so I'm very fortunate that I get to travel and stay in these kind of places. So the hotel in Shanghai, designed and built with the same metals as the 2 towers in Kuala Lumpur, which is the biggest, tallest building in Asia. Design is very unique in the shapes and the look of it. This is the Grand Hyatt in Shanghai. But what's special about the hotel is the first 55 floors are offices. So the hotel actually starts on the 55th floor. So sometimes you're actually above the clouds. And the actual location of the hotel, you're looking out at the Bund plus old Shanghai. And you've got the river going through it, which is probably one of the busiest rivers I've ever seen in my life. There are so many boats going up the river, and I don't know how they don't hit one another, because they're going across, they're going always, all directions, and you just see the life of Shanghai, and you can just stand there and take it all in. So that's why I enjoy staying in this hotel. Just a wonderful experience, and just a great place to see Shanghai coming alive, from in the morning when the sun rises to the sunsets, when all the neon, and there's so much neon now. It is interesting when you see the Bund and then you pan across to the other side. For me personally, it seems like that's the past and that's the future.
Hi, my name is Tina. I work for the Grand Hyatt Shanghai, which is the Guinness Record's highest hotel in the world. Don't you hurry, 'cause you reach your goal. It's what it reads. The building is the 3rd tallest in the world. It looks like, actually, a Chinese pagoda, but a steel and glass one. It's a beautiful structure, and it looks down on the city. And actually, for a new piece of architecture, that one is pretty good. That one is quite good. And it is actually built in a new part of the city, Pudong. Don't you worry, 'cause you reach your goals. It's what it reads. So I don't mind so much working for such a beautiful building.
Yeah, and we're going to catch up with friends of mine and explore this magical country. How do you see, like, the cultural changes from the Western influences? I mean, my experience of coming to Shanghai and China over the years, every time I come back, things are changing at a really fast pace.
I think, in the future there's no big difference West and East. If we talk about youth culture, talk about young people's life, because 5 years before we start having internet, we can easily get all the information from the West country. We can easily get music, movie. I think Chinese young people, they love these kind of things from Western country. It's not because they're from Western country. It's because our life will need more vitamin. I think we love it. It's because we need it. So I think in the future will not be a big difference between West and East. This is in the history. They love the things from Western. It's like a club, music, every new stuff. It's very easy in Shanghai to get popular. Shanghai is the first place.
Shanghai, I find it quite an exciting city.
So what I feel is Shanghai, just like Paris, London, New York, is not belongs. It's not China's Shanghai. Shanghai is Shanghai. It's the only one. Yeah. It belongs to the world. Because first I feel Shanghai is a female. Shanghai is a female. Beijing is a man. That's what I feel. You know.
I think. Maybe you will say it's a female, but I would say it's a feminine. It's different slightly.
Shanghai is the lady, Beijing is the man.
Mm-hmm.
Carry on.
So, and also I think Shanghai, I write it in my screenplay. I think in Shanghai you need more than luck. This is what I feel about Shanghai, you know. Shanghai is like a casino. Also, Shanghai is like a stage, but the stage is always empty. Everyone can be the actor, but sometimes maybe they don't have the words. Shanghai is very emotionally. It's very emotionally for me. And so many interesting people come to this city, and so many rich people come to this city with lots of cash. They think they can do something here, but most of them in the end they find, you know, Shanghai also is tough if you want to do business there.
Is there like a scene going on between creative artists, writers, poets?
Shanghai has quite a lot very good artists, painter, writer, not a lot.
No.
Yeah, I think only me is good writer in Shanghai. To be honest.
My name is Niu An. You are in my studio in Shanghai. Half studio, half my living room. It's interesting, the words and the Chinese characters, sometimes it's really have a form, you know. It's not really the letters, you know. And then they have the form, you know. It's like a sun. It just look like a sun. So sometimes you write them, you know, you will think about the words, but not necessarily you will actually write the meaning about the words. And no reason, maybe, just feel like I want to do it, and didn't think about the reason behind, or theory behind, or concept behind. I just want to do. And maybe this is one of the But art can be everything, so that's what I thought. Then it can be everything. And I think the most important thing it's the be real and the be the truth. I like the words the real. Want to be real. Sometimes the painting is sort of erotic, and sometimes it's the hint to tell. Oh, okay. Even the title. Sometimes I would make a title like a pink period, And my parents will think, oh, the pose like a gymnastic, it's like a dancer, ballerina. Hey, they were avoiding those things which they are look at, The difference is they ignore it, and we try to face it and right straight to face it, to focus it, and I think this is the difference. Really bended things. They try to hide it. They will think this is bad, this is good. They will judge it, and they will punish something. And then people start afraid of, and then start to ignore it or to hide it, But nowadays, people more open mind and more free. So we don't have this kind of a painful experience. So of course, if just like you hurt once, and the second time you wouldn't touch the hard part. It's simple like that. I know what I'm doing, and I know no matter what, I'm going to do it. So I'm very enjoying to do it.
Been here for a few days now and spent time with friends, so I'm enjoying it. I've noticed so much change, and it's a really exciting place to be at the moment, and I'm lucky enough to be part of that change. Learned about the culture. I went to one of the oldest roads in Shanghai. I went to some of the schools and saw the young children, Chinese children of today. So we try and cram as much in as possible. Sometimes it's too much. It's hard to take it all in, but it's not going to last forever. So while it does, I want to pack it in. It's important to take in the local culture, for me anyway.
Hi, I'm Jimmy. It's the best city in China, Shanghai. I'm the guy in China to pushing about the cup culture, and I have 5 cups in China. Young people in China, that's really cool. Before, maybe 10 years before, they don't know everything because in government they stop everything, like the media, the newspaper. You don't know outside everything, but when the internet coming, wow, they really want to follow about the outside world, want to go with the same timing. They really depend on of the internet to know about outside world. In Chinese, I'm Chinese, right? They didn't have any music. It's really difficult because in China, you are really hard to get everything balanced, like the government, like the police, everything. Because I'm staying here for a few years, I know how to make like the government people happy, make everybody happy. I start our crop business in here, and city to city. China, most of the club they play is really pop music. We call it Canton pop. A little bit cheesy, like the house music, something. That kind of music more easy listening. And when I feel about the culture is good for, I try to booking some international famous DJ to my club and let the crowd to know what is the real music in that moment. Before, right? Yeah, 5 years before. In that moment, nobody knows what's the club culture, what is the famous DJ, they got no idea, really. But when I open my own club, I really want to push that thing for the people. So the first famous DJ I mean is Oakenfold. He is like the boom to make the China like little bit earthquake. In that light, about 1,500 people. It's amazing. It's quite small club. It's really packed, and the people first time to know about the DJ will like the music, can do like this to feel what is the music. This is the first time, really first time. And after that, it's a lot of people talk about, wow, that light, the party. Until now, that light is the best light in the Face Cup. I like the music, make me feel really happy. Just like when I something really down, when I listen to music, make me up. So I have the dream, want to push more quality music to the people.
I think wherever you go, you should take a little bit of the culture back with you. I mean, the memories, your thoughts, and I mean, just from ourselves, we went yesterday to the temple and met up with some friends.
Okay, and yesterday you took me to the temple to see the Buddha, but we had lunch with the monks, which for me was a wonderful experience. And we met one of the masters. We also met a fortune teller. Said some really interesting things. You certainly, as I saw yesterday and noticed, that it certainly means a lot to you. So coming from a different religion, explain more about this.
I think one thing for Buddha said is very important is life is full of suffering. What is freedom? If you really understand that life is full of suffering, you got the freedom.
Took a good experience from that and actually learned something which was, for me, gave me a lot of strength.
music, it is a very hard job in China actually, because you don't really have the strong community which keeps everyone together, especially in Shanghai. In Beijing maybe it's better. You have more networks and people who have certain communities can support each other, but in Shanghai there are just more money things going on. The club scene could be so much better, but I think right now, well, it is getting better, but I hope in the club could have more personalities. I think they understand more now as well. I think before when you see Chinese people dancing, they don't really know how to dance. But actually now I think besides those drunken people, you can see other Chinese people knows how to dance now. They knows how to move their body with the rhythm together. I think that's a great step forward.
The feeling, they're not listening to music, they feel in the music. Because they're not really know well about the English, right? Okay, they just feel the rhythm and feel what is that kind of music. And in China, about 19% of the couple, they don't know what is house or trance or big beat. They just feel it's a good music a lot.
I think here it's having a good vibes right now because it's more open now. So you have all different informations and all different things come to here. So you can have the chance to see, but of course it's still not as good as if you really go out to experience what is out there. But all those informations from outside are coming into China, which is a good thing for the young people, the youth, to understand more and to growing more as well. Young people here, they need to have more beliefs with what they are, and also with what they have as well. Sometimes people go crazy here because they know what is going on out there, but they don't really know what is going on out there. Do you know what I'm talking about? Yeah? If you're in a place without any window for too long, then you open so many windows, you don't know what to looking at. You just get really kind of lost in it. So I think if they can have more controls with themselves, maybe it would be better. I think they feel pretty proud of themselves right now in Shanghai. Shanghainese people, just general citizens, they're pretty proud, I think. But of course, I'm sure they still have a lot of things they're not satisfied with. They're still trying to achieve different things. But I think right now, everybody's quite happy in the city. Nobody's really complaining. Years already. I don't think I'm gonna leave, really. I think I will just always going out and come back, but I have my home here. My mom lives with me. Actually, she just told me a very shocking news today. She said actually what she really wanted is to live alone. But I realized it's not bad, because I wanted to live by myself. I mean, I can go to visit her, but I wanted to have my own space as well. That's what she wanted. She's a cool mom.
I would say that not just myself, but people like Kika, Tina, there seems to be a young infrastructure in Shanghai of people who are very open-minded and want to preserve, but also want to move forward. And if I can do my little bit, you know, as a DJ and come here and expose young Chinese people of all ages really to the music that I play, then great.
Oaken, welcome to China. Welcome to China. Oaken, I love you, Oaken.
藏在西山那个小鸡脸鼻子，一老三方大脚掌，脸比那个尖。And we're in Zhouzhuang, one of these very ancient towns, villages, very close to Shanghai, about an hour and a half away. And we're actually sitting in Mr. Cai's house, which he's very nicely turned into an alfresco tea house, because actually most of the building has been destroyed during the Cultural Revolution. This house is 600 years old. This house was a gift from the emperor because the soldier who had fought for him in the war died very courageously and was a very decorated soldier. Because of this, his wife was widowed. And so because she's widowed, no one is there to take care of her. The emperor has given her this house and actually has put up a very beautiful honorary archway which honors her purity and her dedication to her husband. This basically forbids her from remarrying or leaving this house, and she is only allowed 1 day of her life per year to go outside of this house and enjoy herself. That's her day. This place is very significant to me because this was one of the first countryside places that I had the chance to look at my first time to China. And I remember the first time I came here, it was just a beautiful, sweet, charming city, very quiet, without much tourists, without many big buildings, without this alfresco tea house. This old village was created in the Northern Song Dynasty, year 1086, and now has absolutely been turned into a tourist trap, and it's a real pity. And I just wanted to take you here to show you exactly the extent of the destruction of old buildings in China. This is a big problem because China is just developing so fast, so out of hand in terms of historic preservation, and this is a case in point. A beautiful old village that is basically destroyed. Catch what it is now and what it will be, which will be inevitably something really, really terrible. What's too bad about China is that it's developing so fast and foreign investment is pouring into the city. Old buildings can be preserved in a very, very good way, in a very sensible way. And so, you know, they just want to turn every place into a Disneyland, a horrible Disneyland, and hope that tourists will come. So we're replacing our history with the global village. It's really a cultural annihilation, and it has to stop. To save these old buildings, to save my culture.
It's great to give rather than just to take, and that's what we've been doing. Hopefully give the chance for the Western community to see how China, young China is developing, and I think it will be a positive piece. Kika is first and foremost a writer. Mian Mian is her real name. But Kika wrote a book 5 years ago that became a really famous book.
My first book was published first novel was published in 1999 called Candy. This book is the first book in China to talk about drugs, clubbing life, gay life, a hooker. In the south of China, hooker's life. The media get too excited about my book. When we publish after 4 months, the book is already sell 40,000, and like hundreds media talk about my book every day. So I think government banned my book. I think it's a part of political because they want to control the media. They don't want the media talk about my book too much. So they send all the facts. They send facts to every media to say, okay, now stop talking about Mian. But last year it's okay. I can publish my new book. But it's not serious book, it's not novel, it's not short story. Just my article collection.
So when did you two become friends? When did you two become friends?
Oh, it's a good question. Because we had the same boyfriend before. And she's, you know, and you know.
You're not meant to tell everyone he won that. Oh, that's a brilliant answer.
Boyfriend. And
She thinks
I found this
she's got it good. She thinks.
listen to me.
Sorry.
And I found this girl. I talked to her, and in the end, we don't want this man.
Yeah.
We don't want this man anymore when we meet together. So this man's become a joke because we don't want him anymore. This is the story.
Oh, I meant you two.
You meant us two?
What?
How you two were friends.
Me and he.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Where? 在车上。
Over the past period of 3-5 years, the friends I've met in China, it's really good to get an idea of how a hard life is in a country like this. Friends of mine have explained this in depth. For me, I find it fascinating. So after a great gig in Shanghai, it was time to move on to our next destination, which is Beijing, the Great Wall. So as we got into Beijing, my tour manager, Mike Kelly, a great guy, seemed to lose control, which was really funny, being the first time that I've seen him in the time that I've been working with him. Yeah, that was a funny thing for me to see. Okay, so here we are. We just arrived in Beijing from Shanghai. Great show last night. So, Mr. Mike Kelly over there, why are you wearing that mask?
His name's
Great. Got it all. Thanks very much. Sorry, the records. Go on.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have arrived parking bridge. Please check to take all your belongings with you and take bus on the forward deck.
There they are,
Yeah,
the bad boys. Pretty anxious about tonight. Doing the show on the Great Wall, fighting the elements, weather, taking 2 generators up to the wall, one for the lights, one for the sound.
some of the local clubs in Beijing. A little bit jealous of the promoter, so they've spread the rumours around that we're not going to be coming. But hey, we're here.
What about SARS as well?
Obviously with the problems with SARS, which we're totally aware of on a daily basis.
Welcome to Beijing.
Yeah, I mean this is truly a once in a lifetime opportunity. This is Kika and Gilles, who are the
Andy Lover.
Who's Andy Lover?
Jackson, Andy Lover, star of Shanghai Nights.
Yeah.
A new movie coming your way soon. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Great wall! Great wall! Great wall!
Go on.
Great wall!
Go on, make the face. Wait.
Make that face.
Hold it up, hold it up. There you go.
大的装进车上吧。Thank you, thank you.
Okay, no problem.
Where's my stuff going? I'm feeling really in control here.
We've just discovered it is 3 hours drive to the wall. So
And he's
like,
real happy about it.
Well, I'm really excited, so I'm not that concerned. Because when I was a resident of Cream, every Saturday I used to travel 3 hours there and 3 hours back. So it's no big deal. It will be well worth it, trust me. 10 to 6. Beijing Airport. We're here. We're on our way. This is one of my favourite all-time hotels. A real unique hotel, and as you guys are going to see, this is a blast of the past.
But what's going on here? He should arrive
8
earlier.
rooms, private hotel.
Why he didn't?
And membership only, and through a good friend of mine, he's taking care of this for us guys to stay in.
Sorry.
And with Beijing, last time I played in Beijing, I was fortunate to be invited to stay at this hotel called the China Club, which only has 8 rooms. And the design of the hotel and where the hotel is situated is in really old Beijing, and they've kept the kind of 20s, 30s feel. So you go in there and everything looks like an antique.
So, bathroom, which we can, we're totally, rearrange, but. Come into my parlour. the old library of Chinese books dating back centuries. Step up into the bed, as they originally did, with all the mod cons of the 20th century. Into the living room, which overlooks the square. I love this old rickety table where you sit and write your letters. I mean, this is it, right? It's a different kind of hotel, but I fucking love it, man. So you open all that up. Really romantic, actually. It's really, really romantic hotel. I love just all the old furniture, the tables, the lamps. It's just beautiful. And this is like, come in into my brother. A welcoming start to the day. Tea, Chinese tea. Thank you. I like the space of it as well. The first thing we do is wash our hands. Very aware and constantly washing my hands.
Hi, my name is Mike Kelly, and I have never in my career ever felt more out of control than I have here in China. It's like an acid trip. My theory is the acid trip theory. You take a couple hits of acid, you can either fight it and have a very bad trip, or you can go with it and try to have a good time. I'm going with it, baby.
I thought I'd get here 5 minutes early and sample a selection of the foods, just so we can make sure everyone's happy with it. So I have.
What's the verdict?
Verdict is it's amazing food, and dish by dish when we reveal them, we're going to tell you what they are. You see, we've got here and no one else has, so we will be waiting, but we, as you can see by me chewing away. Mr. Kelly, is that kind of you to join us for dinner this evening? Yeah. Saturday night, a wonderful selection of local cuisine. Let's go, baby. Rock and roll. Got the records? Yeah.
What are you doing? These are wall hoops up.
Oh, it's finished. Oh, it's finished there.
Man.
There's the Great Wall. Later. Middle of the roundabout. That's all that's left.
Well, going up in the car, I'd previously been to the wall as a tourist many years ago, a different part of the wall. So I was kind of winding everyone up in the car that every time I saw a brick wall, we're here, so cameras were out. Everyone was excited, but of course it was me with my practical jokes.
That's the wall. There you go. There you go. That's the wall.
What's at the wall?
That's some of the wall. That's some of the wall. You've seen it.
I don't know.
No, I'll tell you what's really good about this is when you see the footage, I'm just bouncing up and down with the road.
And then suddenly we reached an opening in a kind of a valley, really, as far as we could see. But it was kind of lit up with a road that was the obvious road leading to the wall. So I think everyone kind of got excited and realised this was it. And I really didn't know what to expect because I hadn't been to that part of the wall.
Man with umbrella. Walk home, mate. There we go, that's the wall. There it is, there's the wall. Oh, hell, what a backdrop. What? Lights. Oh, hell. Here we go, baby blue. Rock and roll. Get out of the way.
Followed this road through this gorge and then we kind of came up to this kind of mountain, came around it, and there it was, and it was like, wow. I mean, it was just really exciting. I felt really excited.
There's some people up there, look up the top there.
We got out, we kind of sussed out what was going on, trying to work out where we was.
This is it, Shield.
And then, you know, we said hello to who we needed to say hello to, and we literally got involved. We really did get involved. Walking one side of the wall, walking on the other side of the wall. I think Mickey and Henry went into Inner Mongolia.
Top there. Oh, man. See it? Along the top of the ridge? Yeah. Oh, no. Yeah, and as far over as you can see there.
Oh, my God, I can't wait till daybreak.
On this side is Inner Mongolia.
Hey, Mongolia!
Inner Mongolia, baby.
Mongolia!
People say, oh, Michael Jackson's coming. I say, yeah, it is the Michael Jackson, not that Michael Jackson. He's got a real nose, you know. Hey, he's got a real nose, big real nose.
Mike Kelly, my tour manager, was on the wall ringing his kids and his wife, and it was a very emotional moment, I think, for a lot of people, because not just our camp, but a lot of people that were involved. I felt really good that so many Chinese had come, and that was really important for me.
Mexican. People flown in from Mexico. Mexico? Where are you from? France. We have France here. China. A world gathering. Backdrop the wall. There's a raver on the wall. There's a quaver. We're from BBC Television. We're tracking down world quavers.
Easy with the light there.
When you gotta go, huh? Yeah, but how fucking far does this go? It takes 2 days of all the Beijing. We're just gonna go to the top bit, then we'll come down. Don't worry, we're all right. Oh, look at that, look at that, look at that. Oh, it's quiet. That's the steepness of that is what you see over. I mean,
I can't wait to see.
It's great. It's really, really great to be here. It's okay. We'll be all right. Bomb to London, come in. Where are you? Team. The team made it. The wall. It's been a while getting here. It's been a long time. We got it. We got here.
With all due respect, it's not like clubs in the West where we are extremely well organised and we know what we're doing. So it was always going to be a little bit raw and ready, and I kind of knew that. I was actually surprised how good the setup was. First of all, we had to get permission from the government. Second of all, the location. We had to bring generators up for the lights, generators for the sound. We had to organise food and beverage, but certainly people wanted that. The security were the army. There was a lot of organisation that went into doing a party on the Great Wall of China. I mean, bear in mind this is a communist country, and if you did just turn up and play, you could end up arrested and in prison, and who knows.
I think that this is the first time it's recognized the DJ play on the Great Wall. So it's kind of like a milestone. And he's the first person actually a DJ played on the wall.
And then what were the elements of SARS? And I felt like we was really up against it. Everyone involved, not just myself, but everyone involved to kind of pull it off. More so the people who lived there. I was really happy and I felt honoured just to be a part and be invited to do a show like that. For me, it's probably the most remote place. I mean, I've played at the Pyramids, I've played at Burning Man, and I've done some wonderful shows from Alaska to Havana, but this was probably the show for me in the respect of really taking it to the extreme. And it felt strangely kind of tribal and reminded me of the early raves that we had in the UK. Personal kind of achievement, and the people I met on the wall, from the Chinese, which were wonderful, and I never really expected to be the Westerners from South Africa, America, a couple of Northerners, which was great to see them. Various different kind of feelings you go through, and without getting too corny, the whole spiritual side of it was quite moving, really. I mean, especially with the Chinese in the East, as you learn their ways. And for instance, it poured a rain kind of halfway through the night, and I was kind of panicking in respect that the equipment, the records, the obvious things that you do that might dampen down a night if you're a Westerner.
You know, Chinese people, we like rain. Why? Because we see the rain is like coming money, it's like a water. So, and also, the Great Wall Authority told me they have no rain during this period. And so I think I bring them the luck. We start the spring, kind of like a summer, it's kind of like, you know, and the rain is good for the harvest. So it's gonna be like superstitiously, I think we're gonna have a good year this year.
In China, it means that there's good spirits and you get good luck. So all of a sudden, to notice all the Chinese dancing, looking up at the skies and the heavens opening was quite kind of special.
Same time next year, huh? Yeah. Same time next year. Get your records right.
Same time next year.
Nobody ever fucking did it.
After the gig, I was mentally and physically exhausted, and we were absolutely soaking wet to the point of shivering and trembling with coldness. I think we all passed out for a few hours, came back to life, charged up with doing a truly amazing gig. That was absolutely fantastic.
It's so cold, honestly.
Yeah, why don't you have the heat now? Listen, yeah, the shot of that for a moment.
Get out of fucking bed, man. What you doing, man?
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, after we arrived back at the China Club, I personally was really buzzing with enthusiasm.
Must be inspiration. Teach the world to sing in perfect harmony. So what's happened here now is all these records are soaking wet. So it's a case of airing the records
In my room.
in Michael's room. We've actually been blow drying the records, which sounds strange because the last time I was blow drying records was on a U2 tour when my records fell on the floor.
In my room.
After it was pouring rain in Michael's room. And here we are again, years later, doing the same thing.
I was just too excited to actually go to bed, so by 10 o'clock, because I played, I think, 3 till 7:30, and then with the 3 hours drive back. And the next day was so much fun, just to kind of get it out of your system.
No, I'm the only one who's sober. Do you want tea? We all have tea.
No, I'm sober. I'm the only one that's sober. Oh my God, oh my God. Give me another hit of acid. The other one's wearing off.
I was at a show in Miami prior to going to China, and for a friend of mine acquired some fine cohibas through our contacts down there, and I took them with me to China. So before you could count to 5, the cigars were out.
So messed up. Somebody's gonna die.
The reason why we have bikes, right, is because the square is so big that, if you believe me, if you're walking this, you are going to be. Give it 15 minutes, it's going to be over.
I came across these bicycles that you could hire, so I had this crazy idea. So next minute we were riding on our bikes through the streets of Beijing. I managed to convince Mike Kelly that he should join us. Within 40 minutes of being on the bike, he had a puncture, and for a small period of time looking around, trying to figure out where we could get this tyre replaced.
I have a flat tire.
Kelly, swap bike! Swap bike!
Come.
That was one of the funniest times of the whole day.
I was just cruising down the road, and all of a sudden I heard clackety clack clack clack, and I looked down, and it was getting kind of hard to ride, and it just didn't seem right, and that's what happened.
There we were, riding on our bicycles in the glorious sunshine of Beijing. So feeling inflated, we headed off to Tiananmen Square, which was amazing. We got there and first of all you weren't allowed to drive bicycles around, so as you can imagine we did. So we were charging around the square, which is vast, with the Chinese police in chase. I think they caught up with Mickey Jackson first of all, and we all took note and frantically got off our bikes.
So we need to go straight for the square, right? Okay. So we go down there, we do it right.
My dedicated cameraman, Carney, made a Hitchcock appearance on the bicycle with a Cuban cigar.
Terribly sorry, gone the wrong way, what?
From then onwards we were on foot, heading towards a place where we could, at that time, get some refreshments, which was an 11 o'clock stop in the morning for some good old Chinese beer. So from then onwards we headed on to the Forbidden City, which is truly an amazing place. If you ever get a chance to see this wonderful location, it's so big. It's got 9,000 rooms. It's set in 3 acres of land. It's wonderful. It's truly an amazing place to see.
The main buildings are built on the line, running north and south. And the less important buildings are east and west.
Wow. Say that again.
As we went into the Forbidden Palace, we came across an area on the right-hand side where tourists could dress up as Emperor Ming. And someone came up with a bright idea of Mike Kelly should lead us into charge and we should participate in dressing up. So I joined them and there we were, standing there, by this time midday in the glorious sunshine, dressed up as 3 idiots, Chinese emperors, enjoying the surroundings.
So here we are, Sunday afternoon after the Great Wall of China.
There's a mirror. Mirror.
Hello.
Wait. Oh, excellent. Oh, no.
What? What?
Right. Oh, yeah. Nice. Paul.
Feeling pretty damn mean.
When we finally picked up the pictures, we were told by the guy that the one of Mike Kelly was a really beautiful picture. So from that day onwards, Mike has taken a little bit of stick.
Smile, 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 smile. Happy. Junzan Park.
Next to the Forbidden Palace is one of the biggest parks in Beijing. On my way from Shanghai to Beijing, I was reading an article in a newspaper that it was the right time for tulips, for the blossom of tulips, and there was over 1 million tulips in this park. So it was my bright idea, while we were on our last legs, to end up in this park.
course we ended up there, and I actually thought it was truly amazing. The colours that you got, the vibrance from the flowers were great. Part of the park was this pond area, which we suddenly, Mickey Jackson came up with the idea, let's get on the boats, and next minute we were out on the boats paddling away, and yeah, that was funny.
Oh my God! Oh my God!
Hard to put in words. First time today I look back at the footage after taking 2 days to kind of sleep it off. We certainly stayed up for a long time. What? So in hindsight, China really was a special gig for me. It was something that I would certainly remember probably for the rest of my DJing career. It was a unique situation to be get asked and to play on one of the 7th wonders of the world. I learnt a lot from it, I took a lot from it. I will certainly be going back to China, and I would certainly recommend that you guys visit China. Yeah, I really hope you enjoy this film as much as we all enjoyed being a part of it. It really was special, and I look forward to catching up with you guys and seeing you soon. Bye.
You're crazy. This is potent stuff. You should do that. It's like licorice galore.
It's all right.